João is one of my closest friends here in my Brazilian church. And João was born in a Protestant family. Having his both parents as pastor, he practically grew up in church. But it was later in his life, far away from his parents, that he would truly understand what Christ did on the cross for him. He spent 1 year studying in Chicago, and during this time, he changed the way he saw Christ as his Savior. Hi, João.
Hi.
So we are beginning with our first question. You were involved with a lot of church activities since you're little, right? What was your motivation for doing these activities?
Yes, so as you said, I grew up actually in a very small church, and my parents, they were part of the eldership of the church, and because of that, I used to play the guitar, so I had to play like in every single service they had, and here in Brazil it's a lot of services.
Yes.
And I don't know why, but because of I was doing that much of stuff, I used to think that somehow Christ was loving me more somehow, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And
when you were not really being able to do all that thing, you felt like you were getting far away from Christ.
Yeah.
Like that.
For example, when I was in school, when I had exams like midterms, I used to think I didn't have that much time to go to services and to play and to help out, and I used to think that I was like drifting by and like, getting away from Christ.
Yeah.
And that would really depress me in a lot of ways, and it was really sad. I think that my motivation wasn't in the right things. I used to do things because I think that somehow I was like earning my salvation. You know?
I know what you mean. So our second question is, you were doing an evangelism trip in Chicago, right? And you had a really interesting conversation in this trip that you did. Can you tell us a little bit more of this conversation that you had?
Okay, so when I was there, during spring break, we had this awesome mission trip where we went to Panama City Beach, and it was awesome because in the morning we had services where we could learn how to outreach people, and in the afternoon we went to the beach to talk to people and like tell them about Christ and what He has done. And the interesting thing is that they would randomly choose your partner, so you would partner up with someone and go to the beach. And a particular day, I went with the leader of the youth in my church in Chicago. And the interesting thing is that we did not talk to people a lot, but we actually talked to each other, you know. And he was in his 60s, and we were talking about how at a certain point he asked me how if I could lose my salvation somehow. And because I was doing because of my background as a Christian, I said yes, because there were times when I was like busy and I couldn't go to services and do other stuff, and I was like going away from God and I was losing my salvation there. But he said that actually no, that we cannot lose our salvation because it's something that it is paid for us. It's something that Christ did for us, and we is imputed to us. We get this, you know, we get His righteousness. So we could not lose it.
Okay. What were some differences between church here in Brazil and the one you went in Chicago?
Actually, because of culture, there is a lot of difference. There are a lot of differences. But I think that the main difference is this kind of activism, you know. I think that here in Brazil we have like 5-6 services in a week.
And we have like a drama club, we have worship team, we have a lot of ministries more than in the USA.
Yes, yes. So it's like when you are not like worshiping in the service, you are in a meeting or you are like thinking, like studying for a Bible study that you're gonna like give the next day. So I think it's easier for people to get driven by this idea that you can earn something, you know, because of this whole world of activities that we do, you know.
Yeah, I see what you mean. What would you like to say to people that, just like you, they grew up in church, but they really don't understand what Jesus did on the cross for them?
Actually, we can say a lot. I think that's the whole point of the gospel. I believe that if you think, if you have the same thoughts that I used to have, at some point of your life you're gonna get frustrated, because Bible says that, I think it's in the book of James, that if you break just one rule of the law, you have broken it all. You know, so that's the standard that the Bible gives you, that God gives you. If you want to earn your salvation, you have to be perfect. Jesus said that, be perfect as my Holy Father is perfect. So, as we all know, we cannot be perfect.
Yeah.
You know,
We can't.
I think that's kind of obvious, but we cannot be perfect. And if we are trying to be perfect, if we are trying to do all sorts of things to like get to this standard, we're gonna get frustrated at some point. We're gonna get sad and depressed, and just as I used to feel, you know. And we have to trust, to put our entire trust on the sacrifice of Jesus Christ. Because I think that's the whole point of the gospel, that God, He saw that we could not fulfill the law, and then He sent His Son, Jesus Christ, to fulfill the law for us. You know, so He gave His righteousness to us. Like He was perfect, and He gave His perfectness to us. You know, so now we can be perfect through Him. And that's the whole point of the gospel. So if you think that somehow, like as I used to think, if you are gonna earn your salvation, that's not the point. That's not
You're getting wrong. Thank you a lot, João, for your time. And that's it. And I hope this interview had blessed your life.